Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 Cold War mod here today on the channel. This is episode 9 of the United States campaign. It's August 1987, and so far, after the 7 long years of this war, I'd say the Soviets are winning. The Soviet armor, the Soviet Air Force is dominating the fields of Poland and Germany. So if that's something you like, make sure to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I guess West and East Berlin is currently threatened again. The NATO did have some pretty decent pushes, nearly taking Warsaw, retaking that Italian territory, but as this has been going on for 7 years now, it actually seems like the Soviets are gaining more of the initiative, although losing double the casualties. They're really quite helped by their puppet slash former, well, I guess in this current Soviet satellite states. And the US is actually trying to focus on protecting Afghanistan and Pakistan and India, their new puppets that are in NATO compared to the Europeans, which there's just like a lack of US forces over here comparatively, and potentially Germany could fall. Now if Germany or Italy fall, that is massive. It's probably done and dusted for the NATO allies, but we do dominate the seas, so that's something, but overall we're losing the land battle and the air battle. So it's going to be interesting to see how things break up. Oh, we're getting some bugs here now. If you see on the left, there's like a dead pixel or something. This war's been going on for 7 years straight. Things have really slowed down. But we're still 2 years off potentially the entire Soviet sphere of influence ultimately collapsing, so there's still a chance that can happen. Oh no, they're actually pushing here. Oh nice. They've actually managed to surround and envelop a huge chunk of Soviet armor, trucks and units there, and they actually might be able to make a play here. Oh wow, this is the biggest NATO offensive in Afghanistan particularly. Those naval invasions have been failing. The US has not been ultimately threatened. The mainland, the contiguous United States. The US has lost 228k. But they seem to be pushing now. Maybe this is where we're going to break through, as the Soviets are focusing more on that Germany-Poland front. But are these, like, yeah, Sri Lankan tanks? What is this? Ah, I guess Ceylon is a part of NATO now. Interesting. Well, it's just off the coast of India, who are our puppet, the former Dutch colony. Infantry equipment-wise, we've lost over 100k. We are currently negative in some of those advanced aircraft, but Berlin hasn't fallen to the Soviets yet again, but they're coming so close. Dresden's fallen. This is not good whatsoever. Looks like East Berlin potentially could be back under Soviet control after the reunification, and then the entire country ultimately joining NATO. Still dominating the seas. Currently under the Walter administration. But will it be all in vain if Central Europe falls? Just seem to be ultimately outnumbered. But US forces seem to be surrounding and are probably about to crush and decimate those Soviet forces in the hills. They've actually taken an air base there as well. Not having Turkey. Turkey remaining neutral is incredibly annoying. And the Greeks not in NATO as well doesn't help on out. Oh, here we go. Oh, Venice has fallen again. It's been incredibly back and forth there. So that's a huge logistics hub in northern Italy. Definitely need to retake back that as quickly as possible, because Bologna fell last time. Yeah, they just seem to be gaining more success. Oh, they're so close to Berlin. Nearly taken Frankfurt, yeah. So that we basically have lost all the Polish territory we took over the last couple of years. But maybe there might be hope in Afghanistan. May 1988 now. Still under the Walter Mondale administration. After a year that Afghan push did alright, and now we're trying to look to get to Moscow through Turkmenistan. There has been actually a successful naval invasion in southern Greece. It's the first time we've had a successful naval invasion into Greece. We've hit some of the Balkan countries, but overall not there. The Soviet armor has held on and taken more tiles in and around Venice. But so far, this has gone on for 8 years. It's probably going to go on for 8 more. Alright. Leipzig has been retaken. More territory has been lost here in Germany, but still incredibly tight still. I think it's kind of bugged with this leader, though. They're not doing any events. I think some of the national focuses have stopped running. Margaret Thatcher's now in. Yeah, we've got the Falklands crisis coming up. Hopefully we don't have to deal with any potential enemies in South America. That would be annoying. Who's this? So... oh, a little bit of a push here in Yugoslavia. And instantly thrown back as well. Got to give it to the Soviets. Although we have naval supremacy and are launching hundreds of naval invasions left, right and centre, even taking various beachheads and setting up some ground, we just seem to be continually thrown back. 34 million manpower. War support is slightly going down. Still rocking with some Stuarts, but we're actually, like, a lot of our armor is actually using M1 Abrams, which is good. The AMRAAMs. Okay, Albania we've got to push here. But we'll give it another year, and we'll see how we go. It nearly takes, like, 20 minutes a year to go through, especially when there's not really much happening in this stalemate, so I'll be back if there's any more massive gains. Okay, October now. The Democrats are still not here. We're probably going to have a new president, potentially. Still surrounding some units. So it looks like NATO forces are doing a lot better in the Afghanistan region. Okay, so the German Bundestag has accepted more Lend-Lease for the Bundeswehr. If we could somehow take some of these inland seas, that would be probably good. See, I think we just got more air supremacy over there. It seems like the USSR is focusing everything on that mainland Europe push. And Al Gore is currently the new president. Oh, God. So this would have been, I don't know, Bush Senior? Maybe Clinton? I can't remember. I'm not American, so I don't know your presidents. Name 4 Australian presidents. You can't. I guarantee you. Because we don't have one. We have prime ministers. Alright, this front in Greece is still working out. 260k. Oh my god, not nearly 10 million compared to 3 million NATO. Yeah, we seem to be taking a lot out, but we're not getting much for it. Oh, looks like Bologna might fall again. Oh, nice. They threw them back in and around Munich. So that front in the south has collapsed, and we've pretty much gone back to the pre-1980 borders. And there might have even been a little bit of retaken territory there. This is such a stalemate. Well, up in the north, the Norwegians have done a little bit. But ultimately, I wonder if it's sort of bugged, like... It's just an absolute grinding gridlock. No, like, one side can't... we are contesting, but, like... Even with air supremacy, they just don't have enough to just oomph on through. Because we're digging in. There'd nearly be a peace, you'd think. Maybe not. Either side probably has countless years more war in it. But nearly 15 million. And Al Gore is the new president. Has commissioned an abundance of new Falcon fighters. So 2005 the tech tree goes to. So the mod can go that far at least. The space race was ultimately ignored. But fun run. Oh, the M4 carbine in 95. Okay, we've got that to look forward to. I was umming and ahhing whether or not to go with historical focuses in this, but I think the Cold War was kind of boring. You want to have various other proxy conflicts. Like, the thing is, if we did, we wouldn't have had the loss in Korea with the communist-backed DPR taking all of it. We did have the stalemate in Nam ultimately. We wouldn't have had all the crazy events in India, which has been quite fun. Which has changed things. And we wouldn't have had all these wild and wacky presidents. Like Al Gore. But yeah, let's continue on. Okay, 1991. Status quo still very much the same. We're taking out every single push they throw at us. Okay, so the front in Afghanistan, although that push from the previous years worked alright, things have quietened. We lost that beachhead in southern Italy, but unfortunately, Greece, but unfortunately it looks like Italy might fall finally to the Soviets. After an 11-year push, northern Italy has fallen. We're being pushed to the French border, and the Italians could very well capitulate, which would be terrible for the war effort. Either one of them, Germany or Italy falling, is probably GG's, with Soviet forces about to push into the streets of Rome after liberating Florence, and the Italians hanging out in the Tuscan sun. The Czech Republic has been an absolute chad so far. Poland as well, with a slight counter-offensive. NATO trying to spearhead into Poland. But so far, the US has increased their infantry division, not so much their armor. We're still maintaining a lot of our navy and have even increased our air wings. Slight little push there. No change of territory in Svalbard, because I guess there's some sort of non-aggression pact and peace there. No battling in the Arctic, I suppose. But, this is not good. If Italy falls, this is terrible. We're still waiting for those submarine batteries to come on in. What else we got here? Pump jet submarine engines. Interesting. 91, we're getting Stinger missiles as well. And now we've dipped for the first time under 300k rifles. So we've still probably got... Oh, what's that? At the current attrition rate, because we lose divisions as well. We've probably got 5 more years before we run out of infantry equipment, which is GG's. We've already been funding this war for 11 years now. And let's be totally frank. Poland and Germany are completely destroyed. And now Italy might be as well. As Rome is about to fall to Soviet forces. You'd imagine they're going to install a pro-Soviet socialist government at some point. Oh, wow. They finally broke on through. They had a couple good attempts. They took Bologna 2-3 times, but looks like they're going to win. We do have naval units potentially ready to retake Italy. We can never seem to hold it, but the Allies and potentially NATO might be better at just navally invading Italy rather than holding it. But I think it's the Air Force that's what's ultimately losing it and not committing more forces. Maybe potentially supply is an issue as well. But ultimately not having a land bridge between Germany and Italy, you'd imagine they're probably airily bringing in supplies and on the coast, which doesn't help. 5 million lost. 1 million is the Portuguese got lumped on. Still 4 million to about 11, which is significant, but still focusing on Afghanistan. 91 now. Oh, look at that. Essentially the entirety of Italy is under Soviet Air Force control, unfortunately. And with Italy falling, it's dropped quite a bit as well. 15% since the start of the war stability. 13%. Maybe the Italian Americans are not happy with the fall of Italy. Might need to push back to Messana and Sicily and hold that land bridge. And ultimately fortify Sicily, making it a unstoppable fortress. Jeez, 1.6 Federal German Republic soldiers lost. Crikey. Those naval invasions still set up. So it's basically just like whenever there's an opportunity to navally invade, they're just going for it. No other countries are joined on in. The United States still protecting the contiguous United States and the various protectorate and overseas colonies as well, essentially. The US Navy is just smashing a small Yugoslav force. Even the Aussies were helping out there in that one. Hilarious. Alright, May 1991. Okay, July now, and that's it. Italy is now a republic in exile. They still hold Sardinia. That push in Afghanistan has collapsed as well. But it's not looking good for the NATO forces in this one. Well, unfortunately on that note, guys, got to wrap things up here. Hope you've enjoyed episode 9. Italy has ultimately fallen to the Soviets. They're potentially going to try and retake from the south as they still have Brundisium, but only time will tell. So unfortunately on that note, it's time to end the video here. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for episode 10 coming out soon. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see more from me, check out the videos on screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.